Today, I will give you some tips on how to make small living space seem bigger. The living space is expensive. Our first flat in Luxembourg had only 42 square meters. We spent 5 years there, and I wish someone told me those tips before we moved into. Let's begin with the wall color. It seems to be logic that light colors make the space look bigger, but not necessarily. Humans' eye perceive bright objects as being closer than the same objects in darker colors. So don't be afraid to paint the walls or cabinets in dark color if that's your preference. If you feel more safe with light and unicolor space, go for it. Just remember that it might look plain, so try to layer it, adding a few colorful accents. Something what can be easily changed on very little money. Use colorful pillows, planters, fruit bowls if you love colors just like I do. If you prefer uniform look, try different pattern plants. Create a focal point which will draw the eye from the rest of the layout. It might be a coffee table or an accent piece like a bigger picture, or the group of the pictures, or a playful dresser. Go for a normal size furniture because it makes small space look optically bigger. Even though the small furniture might seem more proportional to the small space, small things in a small room make the room look small. It's our first dining table for the reference. And speaking of the table, I got asked what table is the best for the small room. So go for the round one. The round things considered the most perfect form, and they always stay straight. It's much more easier to slide around such a table into any sitting place, and it has no corners. If you have guests, it's easier to find some additional place, as no one has to sit on the corner. And also your hips will be thankful. As I said, avoid small furniture, so get the biggest size couch you only can fit into your space. And try to pull it away from the wall. Couch touching the wall turns the place into a waiting room. Leave some space between the items. Even a couple of centimeters would do a trick for make the space seem a little bit more airy. Tiny places have a little floor space, so go upwards instead of going wide and avoid mini and low furniture. Our Katze was helping me a lot with this video. Thank you! Determine the biggest traffic areas and leave enough space between furniture to walk through, because no one wants constantly go on tiptoe moving from one place to another. Approximately 90 centimeters or shoulder width of the widest family member, plus several centimeters for sway would work. Also remember to leave almost 1 meter in front of every entry. Opt for the furniture on the legs. Legs lifting the piece of furniture up from the floor. It gives the sense of openness and allows the light to flow underneath. It's all about perception. As long as it's possible to see the floor, our brain tends to register it like a free space. So, optically it doesn't steal the space from the room, and every not occupied spot helps the space seem bigger. Choose the right size carpet. There are many schemes on internet how to choose the right carpet for your place. To sum it up, it shouldn't be too small. The main rule here is that if it's not possible to place an entire piece of furniture on it, then at least the front legs must be on the carpet. I'm not a fan of the ceiling lights in no matter what the space, but in the small room it's absolutely no-go. To make the room seem bigger, use more than one light source. Place the lamps in multiple spots for illuminate the dark corners and for adding interest and coziness to the place. Haven't enough sockets? Use chargeable lamps. Place the mirror on the wall. It reflects the light, adds the depth. In other words, it makes the space seem bigger and brighter. Pay attention where you are placing it. It's better when it reflects the nicer part of the room. Use few decor details which have no practical use except for being decorative, as it makes the place seem much more warmer and inviting. And trust me, you will need less efforts to keep your guests entertained. Also, practical things can be decorative. For sure, it's not everyone's cup of tea to have the windows with no curtains, but here is something to reflect about. If you have a nice view behind the window, let it be the part of your interior. That way your room is not ending at the window line and it seems bigger. If you don't feel confident having no covered windows, try this instead. Here is the view from the outside. And last but not least, avoid clutter. Even couple of tiny pieces make seem small place untidy. Small places can physically contain less objects because of the distance between them, so it's more visible and also makes seem place smaller. So here is probably all what I could remember from our living in a tiny space. What are your tips? Share them in the comments. If you liked this video, please give me the thumbs up and smash this subscribing button. Also share it with those to whom it might be useful. Thanks for watching, greetings from Luxembourg, and see you in the next one. Eddie!